I already know these answers. I'm just using ChatGPT to confirm them. Interactive, but they were sometimes as enemies. We're in decline, but they treated with the Romans. We're treated along the Black Sea, which is underneath Ukraine, which is underneath Crimea, Black Sea. You probably heard that many times. Fought as hard warriors for Rome. Like I said that. A common practice. Houses, Black Sea. This kingdom too we challenge Rome directly. Now, watch this. And this is the big question. You seen how this is coming together? I don't know what it's going to say because that's not Western information. Because they discovered this in the 60s and it was reported, but it never was translated into English. The Scythians were involved. This was because that would be the Gog and Magog war, and some churches, some pastors do recognize this. So we're gonna read what it says up here. Now the Scythians did not attack. The destruction of Jerusalem was carried out by the Roman Empire, led by First Jewish-Roman War, but they were contracted by the Roman Empire. They know this because in the Bible, in the Bible, the names used are Scythian words, and this was even the reason why I know that was because the Ukrainian I guess he was a pastor. He explained this, and I was like, oh, that's how that goes together, because this all goes together, and Iran knows this information. See, but we're no longer a major power. We're not involved in its conflict. They were. It's trained on Western information. For that, say were entire Roman legions, primarily, but not by Scythians. They know that because, as you said, that the burial grounds with the treasure and the afterlife and all that, they found those artifacts in Jerusalem. Archaeologists found it. Raided the parts of the Middle East, including near Israel and Judah. So yeah, they had influence in Israel. Everybody, and they were no longer a dominant force. Who had overtaken the Scythians were active in the Roman wars. It's possible. It might not have been the Scythians. It might have been the Sarmatians, because it does say that. That could be true. I could see that because even though it wasn't the Scythians, it's the matter of the fruit. So think of it like this: if the Scythians are from Iran, Persian, they have that connection. If the Sarmatians either fought or overtaken the Scythians, then they have that fruit within them, right? Even though they're defeated, they have that connection in them. So it connects. And now it's in Ukraine, so Ukraine now has the fruit of destroying Israel. So Iran knows that Israel is not supposed to be here right now. Ukraine has the fruit of the Holy Land. That's why Iran will protect Ukraine, but still remain allies with Russia. Because Russia also supports Ukraine in this way, but it doesn't agree with the direction it's going. It doesn't agree with what the Western narratives. It's a conflict. Putin knows this. He's playing both sides, but we're on the wrong side of history here. The United States is on the wrong side of history. So now you see why Trump he couldn't interfere with Ukraine, so to prevent that from happening, he has to directly get involved with Iran. And of course, Trump is plan to lose this, or otherwise it creates a big problem, and then he'd be able to go to Ukraine and stop Russia. Big mess, right? Involved in. Yeah, some people associate the Scythians with biblical prophecies about northern invaders like Gog and Magog. I just mentioned this. This is a symbolic connection that a historical event happened in 70 AD. When it says symbolic connection, it would still be tied to it. So it would still be true. So I'm not really understanding what it means by that, because the connection is still there. The region evolved, the sea was completely destroyed. When not involved in destruction, this was entirely a Roman operation. That's what you would say if like the United States, well, the United States is not the Roman Empire, but that's like if you said, well, if you took United States and Puerto Rico, let's say Puerto Rico, and y'all went to war. Well, you wouldn't say it was the Puerto Ricans that did it. You would say it was the higher power that did it. And that's exactly what's happening here. However, early in history, the Scythians did operate in the Middle East, which may lead to some confusion. So it could be connected. We don't really have that information in West, like I said. You just have to connect the dots somewhere between the two. But by the time the Roman crushed, the Scythians were no longer a major force. They didn't have to be a major force. They just had to be there, just to be there. But they did find the horses and the burial mounds. The burial mounds were located. They were in the lower part. I think they were in Crimea. Maybe it was the south of Ukraine, but they were from burial mounds that matched theirs. So that's why they say the Scythians. So they were involved in some way. So, and they still carry that fruit, because the end of the day, Jerusalem was destroyed. That's what made Israel be wiped off the map until 1948. So, do with that information as you will. Say, well, you know, he might have some points there. So, there you go. I'm going to end this video with a joke. I told you guys a lot. Break over Jerusalem because it couldn't have resistance. The rebellions aren't. I could see this happening. We talked about this before. Now, I did say the United States is not the Roman Empire. It's more like Israel, because it's clueless, really. Russia would be the Russia and the Eastern Road would be the modern day empire. Most notably Russia. But why did the Roman Empire break over Jerusalem? Couldn't handle resistance. That could apply to both Ukraine to Russia and Ukraine to, or Kiev to Russia and Kiev to the United States. So you see that Ukraine eventually has to rise up. And that's the danger that I was talking to you about earlier, when Trump was walking on eggshells. If he gets to Ukraine to stop the war, I mean, I want to stop the war too, but when you have a president do that, it looks like oppression, and what they're going to do to Russia is what they're going to do to us. It's only a matter of time, right? To them, it makes no difference. That's their perspective. So, yeah. So, the CIA, Putin, Zelensky, Iran's intelligence, even Israel's intelligence would say, you know, we need to have this play out, right? we can't have Trump do this. It's gonna hurt us in the long term. It might work in the short term, but in the long term, it's gonna be bad news. So I hope you guys have learned something, but I'm sure you have. So that's something to think about. So I'll see you guys later.